Hi, welcome. We're going to do a little reading today. I have a couple of new babies that will be taking for their maiden voyage. So thanks for being here, and let's get started. The first new baby is this Oracle of Pluto. It apparently has to do with shadow work, so I thought perfect, because I don't have any like shadow worky type oracles here at my home. I have some at my studio that I use with clients, but not at home anymore. So good excuse, like I need an excuse to get a new deck. So, and it's beautiful. Okay, so we're going to read this at the end. It says lizard. We'll read it at the end. That used to be my nickname. That's just kind of funny. In middle school. So we'll leave this here. And we'll pull kind of a theme card, just get a high level energy for this reading. Two-faced? What? Two-faced. See what that has to do with anything. And then I thought we could use these cards also to kind of build onto that. See what energy wants to come through for this. Void. At the end of my hair. Okay. Now, this is my new tarot deck. It's called, what is it called? Tattoo Tarot. Okay. Some of them I might have to leave face down. I don't know how YouTube is about the whole nudity thing, but I noticed there were some cards that were a little risque in terms of what YouTube might allow or try to censor. So I don't want to make this unreachable to people. So if I turn it over, I have to quickly turn it back over. You know why. Okay. Let's see. Let's get a high level energy here. Yeah, they haven't been used, so they're a little sticky. So we have the Two of Coins, which is the Two of Pentacles, challenged by the Hierophant. Immediately what I thought of was like your intellect is kind of getting in the way of making a decision. I don't know why. That was just like an immediate. I'm also seeing two-faced, which is interesting with the Two of Pentacles, because there's this like, it almost feels like this intellect, like the logic part, is getting in the way of making a decision based on other parts of you. So they're like these competing parts of you. So I don't think of two-faced as in like you've been a two-faced liar or whatever it's typically thought of. I really think of it as like these competing parts of self are, well, competing to go, like, what direction are you going to go in? Or which way are you going to be? Or it's like finding your new normal within these, despite these competing aspects of self. And I don't know, this Hierophant being like this intellect energy. So it's like you're very intelligent. You have the ability to make a very sound decision, but there are these competing parts of self coming through that are making you pause for a moment, which is a good thing, because whatever this is doesn't feel like a decision to be made from logic. And I think that's why it's showing up in the crossing energy. So that's what we have so far. We'll see if we can get a little bit more detail. I'll use these again. And let's go. Just tell us more. We have the Moon. Yeah, there's some like self-discovery going on here. The Two of Wands. We had another two, and this is like this feeling like there's more to be discovered about yourself. Oh my gosh. And then we have the Ten of Swords. Oh, interesting. I'm curious what this lizard's going to tell us. That's a funny thing to say. Because of this, something that's led you to this pause moment feels like something's been a very hard road for you, like a hard journey. I wonder if it's led to this no man's land you're in now, this void state of like, who even am I? Yeah, I want to get more detail. So let's set these aside and let's try to learn more about this. So we'll put these up here. Take a drink of coffee. I know I took the day off because I had a really full few weeks, and I had forgotten that I blocked this day on my schedule. Because past me was like, oh, you're going to be tired. And past me blocked today off the schedule. And then so at some point recently, I was like, oh, I don't have any clients today. How weird. And then I was like, oh, thank you, past me. I am tired. And here I am drinking coffee at 3:31 p.m. And I have a full day tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. I don't think I'm too tired. This is not going to help keep me up, I don't think. So that was just a little intermission so I could drink my coffee. Okay, let's see. Well, I kind of want to see what spread we want next. I'm getting this feeling. Sometimes this has been coming through. Queen of Swords, Prince of Cups, Six of Cups, Temperance. So the Prince is the Knight of Cups. So Queen of Swords, Knight of Cups, Six of Cups, Temperance. There definitely is a conflict or just conflicting energy between the logic part and heart. That's usually what we have, though, isn't it? My brain's saying one thing logically, my heart's going another direction. But this Six of Cups, now I'm really curious what that lizard's going to tell us, because this is where the shadow work comes in. The Six of Cups is something to do with healing something from the past. And Temperance it could be a lot of things, but it feels like that Two of Pentacles energy of trying to find your middle path, like with this moon, not just balance, because that's like a generic word that, sorry, what's it mean? You know, it's different for each person. And like what's it mean to you? You know, what does balance mean? Maybe not going to extremes, trying to be level-headed. Who knows what balance means? But Temperance is like things in moderation, but that's different for each person too. So this is about you finding what feels like the right path between the head and heart, and it's something to do with the shadow work. I also wonder if there's something about this, the logic part of you, the mind part has really kept you keeping people at arm's length, like not trusting. The Queen of Swords is here to say, like, okay, if there are two-faced people, it's almost like you are very discerning about who to let close to you for fear of fear. Yeah, I think fear is underneath it all. May not be top of mind, but like trust is a thing showing up. So, and I think it's also kept you from, it keeps you playing it a little safe, where something's calling you out of a comfort zone beyond your safe zone. Interesting. Okay, so where do we go from here? I want to see if there's anything else here. So whatever this healing is from the past, it's going to require you to be the one to make a heart-based gesture, which is going to open the heart, but it might feel like, well, in order to make that gesture, my heart has to be open already. Yes, and yes. All things can be true. Okay, now where do we go from here? I feel like this is probably going to be a little bit of short and sweet one. So what I'd like to do now is read the oracle message and then see if there's a curiosity we have about where to go from here. So this one says lizard. These are like hand shadow puppets. Oh, I love that cactus. Okay, this first time cracking open this book. I hope they're nope, they're not alphabetical. Oh, you oracle books. I swear, how do I know where to go? There's not even they are not in alphabetical order, nor is there an alphabetical table of contents. What is happening? Who did this? How do I have to push pause so I don't waste your time anymore. Hold on. Okay, found it. Meaning for the lizard. Repeating a cycle, unlearned lessons. It's hard to read. Lizards are often associated with the idea of regeneration, as they can regrow their tail should something happen to it. This indeed is a handy trick, enabling the lizard to not only get a major part of its body back, but also to do better next time around. When lizard energy is present, we too are being offered this gift. This card is also an invitation to take a moment and ask yourself why this cycle is recurrent. Lessons have a way of repeating themselves time and again until we learn and integrate them. It may take us a few times to even recognize the common thread between situations, but once we do, we are presented with a choice. Learn, grow, evolve, do better, be better, or don't. And if this card has arrived in your reading, it's likely that at this moment the latter has been true for a while. Consider especially the other cards around the lizard. What do they reveal about the crossroads where you're standing at this moment? It feels like we're in the void, doesn't it? Like, that's so funny. It's like crossroads because of the twos we have here. Those are crossroad cards. Like trying to find our way. We have the moon. So it's like repeating a cycle and unlearned lessons. And recognizing the common thread. Whoops, how's this going? Maybe here? Okay. So what is this have to do with what we're healing? I wonder what cycle it is. Maybe it is the cycle of keeping people at arm's length. We're not trusting, which is going to keep you kind of stuck from moving forward into this unknown that might require you to take some risks. Are you making a decision right now that needs you to be a risk taker? Like, go for it sort of thing. That's what it feels like. And this, like, playing it safe would be taking the logic-based route. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I just want to see if we can get any more specifics to help you out with the path forward. All right, tell us more. So we have the Six of Cups again. Yes, I know. The Ace of Swords. Okay. And the Ace of Pentacles. This is funny. So this definitely feels like this is calling you out for those cycles, repeating cycles. But also you've grown each time through those cycles. So it's almost like it's not saying to go back to heal something, but just recognize that each time you repeat the cycle, you are actually learning something along the way. So this feels like you're just taking a while to get there, and you're on your own timeline. It's not going to be some giant revelation and then, ta-da, I'm a different person. This is steady as she goes, but this is your clarity you're gaining. That it's like little tweaks along the way with each of these cycles. Oh, interesting. Tell me more. Come here. Tell us more. You got the Two of Swords. How many twos we gonna get? You got almost all the twos. We just don't have the Two of Cups, but I don't think that's entirely relevant here. And then we had the Ace of Wands. You've got all the aces, except for the Ace of Cups. That's funny. And the Two of Swords or the Ace of Wands. So there's something you're gonna start to rely more on your intuition here than your logic. Something is saying, I think the guidance here is, don't just be too quick to jump to the logical decision making. You know, it doesn't have to immediately be all ooey gooey heart based, but it's going to start with your intuition and trusting that first, and then you're going to start to trust other people. So, yep, you're really doing some personal growth, like know thyselfing. You're doing some self-discovery here. Tell me more. And we have the Five of Swords. Interesting. So it almost feels like this cycle of keeping people at arm's length is coming to an end. It's something that has been a habit of, like, it's kind of hurt you and hurt the other parties along the way, but it feels like that's coming to an end. But how? How is it coming to an end? I kind of want to know more. Is there more to know? I feel like it's kind of it's almost like the feeling I'm getting here is that it's almost been kind of hurtful to the point where you're like, enough's enough. So it's like you're bringing it to an end. Maybe you have felt a little two-faced with people. This is and it's like, now's the time for a reflection. Like, why was I being that way? Why did I feel that way? Why did I feel the need to attack first or else be attacked? You know, that sort of feeling. And therefore keep people at arm's length for fear of that way I can't be hurt. Because whatever you're on the precipice of, I don't know if I ever use that word, whatever turning point you're at, you're on that threshold moment of like, enough's enough. I have to stop repeating these patterns, self-destructive patterns. They've kept you a little limited in some ways, especially in the form of connection with other people, to do whatever you're meant to. I don't know what you're doing, but this is what they're saying is in the way. It's like self-protection. Interesting. So that's the cycle that's ending, because you're in this like no man's land of like disconnection from other people, disconnection from self. So you're going to start coming into connection with self. Self-discovery is here big time. And you've got the Six of Cups twice. So there's definitely something about reflecting on the past in a few different ways here. Five of Swords also. So there's reflect on the past. Ask what it means about who you really are. There's a know thyself theme showing up here. And you're not the patterns you've been repeating. That's just out of self-protection. That's out of woundedness. Once you heal that or realize it for what it is, there's no more just relying on logic. You're going to start tapping into intuition and making heart-based decisions. The end. and seen. So, yeah, let me know if you have any questions or anything about that. I'm pausing to see if there's anything else here. Yeah, I think that was it. That's all that wants to be said. So thank you for being here. Thanks for trying out our couple of new decks. I really like this artwork. We got at least the artwork that was tame enough to keep showing on the camera. And I'll see you next time. Bye.